What is going on, guys? It's Alan here from KYT. Today I have a special video. I'm going to be telling you guys the dream offseason the Knicks would definitely want to have in 2020. So let's just get right into number one. And as you guys see on the screen, the first one is trade for CP3. We really need to trade for Chris Paul because he brings the offensive talent to the table, and obviously he helps the young guys develop, especially the point guards. And even RJ Barrett would definitely get some help by Chris Paul. And Chris Paul is just a great IQ type of player. Chris Paul knows what he's doing on the court. So I think the Knicks should definitely consider Chris Paul for their roster and trade not too many assets for him. I trade a maximum of 2 second-round picks for Chris Paul, as well as obviously like a Julius Randle, like a Bobby Portis or a Taj Gibson, Alfred Payton. Doesn't matter, whichever veteran they want. And yeah, so that's basically it. That's for the number one. Now let's get into number two. And as you guys already heard and know, that drafting a point guard is a main priority for the Knicks in the 2020 draft for them, because they've proven to see that their point guards in Frank Ntilikina and Dennis Smith Jr. have not resulted into what they wanted to result. And they just didn't play solid minutes, and they just didn't have a good 2019-2020 season. For a starting caliber point guard, obviously they were playing decently, but especially like a Dennis Smith Jr. was just off, like totally broken. And obviously we need Dennis Smith Jr. to get better and get on the track, back on the track like he always was on like the Mavericks and stuff. So hopefully he can develop with this new coaching staff, with the Johnny Bryants and the Kenny Paynes that the Knicks have hired, and Mike Woodsons and stuff. Hopefully they can develop him into what we thought he was going to be. But yeah, so drafting a point guard is a big thing for the New York Knicks, because Chris Paul, even though they can trade for Chris Paul, they need a good, solid backup point guard that can help him out and learn from him as well. And whenever that point guard is ready to play big minutes, they will give him the big minutes that he deserves. And that point guard is probably going to be, if you guys are talking about a win now type of point guard, it's probably like a Cole Anthony or a Killian Hayes, people that are already developed and not fully developed, but people that already know how to play in a high level. So obviously LaMelo Ball is as well, something like that. But yeah, so that is number two, and let's go to number three. And now number three is, as you guys see, sign a stretch four power forward, whatever you guys want to call it. We definitely need a stretch big, and a power forward is definitely what we need, like a Davis Bertans. Danilo Gallinari comes into mind at that time, as well as Christian Wood, as you guys already saw. These are some top caliber stretch fours that could definitely space the floor for the Knicks team, and that will definitely help them a lot with everything they're trying to accomplish on the court. And they're going to just space the floor. The offense is going to be much more fluid than you guys might saw them last season and previous seasons before, obviously. So this is definitely a big priority in the offseason, in free agency. The Knicks need to sign a stretch four. All right, so number four is to sign a veteran big. You guys saw that right now. That is extremely important for the Knicks and Mitchell Robinson, obviously. Mitchell Robinson is someone that has to develop long-term, obviously, and he's already good, but he's still a little raw. He has to, if he can be a stretch big, that would be insane, because we saw in his practices, he's been shooting the lights out, man. He's been splashing it from deep range, so he has the potential. He has a nice-looking jump shot, smooth-looking jump shot, so if he just works on it a little bit more, he will be excelling as a center in the NBA, and he will just be a star, a young star, obviously. So the reason I said for the Knicks to get a veteran big is because someone like Tyson Chandler would help out Mitchell Robinson's development. Someone that is experienced, obviously, would help him out. And obviously, why not bring back Tyson Chandler for a 1-year minimum contract that won't hurt the team, won't hurt the salary and stuff. I mean, obviously he's not young, he's a little old, obviously, but just bring him back with Mike Woodson. Obviously he has that relationship with Woodson. Why not? And he already has been on the Knicks. He knows what it's like. He's probably not going to get a ton of minutes at all, but he's just gonna help out in practices and stuff, help out Mitchell Robinson, be dominant in the paint. So that's why the Knicks need a veteran big. And number 5, do not overspend. The Knicks have failed to do this in the Steve Mills era and the Phil Jackson era. They have just miserably failed. They've been paying players like Joakim Noah almost type of max contracts. Like, come on, you can't pay Joakim Noah. Obviously, he's not the same Joakim Noah he was. I'm just bringing up as an example. They just overpay a ton of people, and I hope this just does not happen with the Leon Rose era, because I think Leon Rose is smarter than that. I think he knows what he's doing, and hopefully we could just hope for the best and just not overpay people like DeMar DeRozan, Fred VanVleet. Just do not overpay those type of players. They're not going to help out with the young core and stuff like that. They'll help out winning games, but they're just not worth those type of max contracts. It's going to take away your capability and to get other stars. So you want young stars. I mean, Fred VanVleet is nice and all, but he's not that star you're looking at, you know what I'm saying? And the same thing with DeMar DeRozan. He is nice. He is a star, but he's just not what the Knicks need. They don't need a player that just can't space the floor as well. So I think the Knicks should go, if they want to pay a max contract, they go with a guy like a Chris Paul or a guy like a Devin Booker, Donovan Mitchell, Ben Simmons. Someone like that is a real bona fide star, you know what I'm saying? And young, obviously, that could fit in with the Knicks and space the floor as well. Obviously not Ben Simmons, but like a Donovan Mitchell and like Devin Booker, some players like that. That's who you give max contracts to. So once again, just want to ask the Knicks not to overspend as the number 5th thing. That would be the dream offseason for the Knicks. If they do not overspend, pay not that long contract and not those type of big multi-year contracts to players that are not worth that type of contracts. So like if they want to get a stretch 4, like let's just bring up an example as Christian Wood. They want to get him, they got to pay him like a maximum of 15 mil and not more than that, because it's just gonna make them not, I mean, if they pay him for 1 year, it's fine if they give him like an 18 mil or something, because he's someone they really need for 1 year at least. And for the team option would be for the 2nd year, but nothing more than that. I would not do something more than that, obviously. But yeah, so let me know if you guys agree or disagree with this in the comments down below. It was Alan here from KNYT, and I'm out. Peace.